How you treat others is one of the most important things. People won't remember you by how smart you were. People will remember you by how you treated them. This is why social skills are so important. How you treat others is how others are going to treat you back. So if you're being treated like shit, it might just be because you treat others like shit also. The advice that I'm going to be talking about in this video is the advice that I'd give to my younger self watching this video, who is very awkward and who is scared of talking to other people. This is the video for that guy. Now, the best ways to learn your social skills is just read the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is the book that probably helped me the most on developing my social skills. And some of the things I will be talking about in this video are from this book. This is like an old school book, and I think this is a must read for everyone. So if you want to improve your social skills even more, buy this book or download it online. It is amazing. Now, my first advice is showing respect, being polite, and having manners, especially if the people that you are talking to is older than you. I mean, you probably already know what this means, being polite, saying thank you, please, sorry. These very simple gestures are what makes you a good member of your society and a gentleman. Have the politeness that those old school grandpas have. Now, I am 100% sure that you know what I'm talking about. Those old school, old people dressed up in a very nice way, being polite to the waitresses that serve them, holding the door open, treating others in a very nice and respectful way. You probably know like the type of person that I'm talking about. Be like them. Be like those old school people. Have that old people social skills. Take inspirations from them. Imitate that respect and politeness that they have. Because people pick up on these little things like interrupting them while they speak, or using very offensive language, not saying please, thank you, sorry. People pick up on these, and these very little things make the difference. I think this is one of the foundations of having a good social skill, is treating everyone with respect and politeness. Because you already know how bad it feels if someone disrespects you. When someone treats you in a bad way, it feels awful, doesn't it? So why would you do that? Treat others in a respectful way. Show respect to other people and be polite. That is the foundation of social skills. But I think that we can take this a next step further by being genuinely kind to people. Now answer this question 100% honestly. Did being angry, mean and hateful to other people produce good outcomes ever? Was there ever a time when you said that, I am glad that I was angry and mean to that person? It has never happened to me. Never once in my life was I glad that I treated others in a mean way and in a disrespectful way, in a hateful way. Never once did I look back and was glad at that. I truly think that most of the time, being kind and love is the right response to everything. I truly believe that. And it's also very good for your soul to be a force of good in this world and be nice to other people. And when doing something kind, don't do it because you want something in return. Don't do kind acts just so that you can say later to that person that, remember when I helped you with this out? Remember when I did this? Don't do it and expecting something in return. I don't think that's true kindness. True kindness is when you do something kind towards someone, when you help someone out and expect nothing in return. You help someone out and your job is done. You don't expect anything in return. I think that is true kindness. So be kind to other people. Be a force of good in this world. Be genuinely loving and help people. This will help your social skills by a lot, by being just kind to everyone. Now, my next advice is smiling more. This is so underrated. A simple smile can brighten someone's day. The other person will think that you're so happy to see them, and your overall energy will become so much more pleasant just by simply smiling. Smiling is probably the thing that helped me the most in my social skills so far, because back when I was younger, I didn't really smile a lot when talking to other people. But this helped me a lot. I guarantee you that if you smile at other people, they are going to smile back at you. And if you don't feel like smiling, fake it till you make it. Fake a smile on your face. Because what's going to happen is that, let's say that you're faking a smile on your face, and maybe other people will smile back at you, and now the smile is real. You're smiling genuinely. So if you don't feel like smiling, fake it till you make it. Now, my next advice is standing up straight with your shoulders back. This is huge. This makes a huge difference. When you're not standing up straight with your shoulders back, people will just lose respect for you and won't trust you as much. And just look at the difference. Standing up straight and boom. Can you see the subtle difference when I'm like hunched over and when I'm standing up straight? Maybe you can tell better by the sideways. Standing up straight and boom, I lost all respect. Standing up straight, like it's this very little difference, but it makes a huge difference in how people will perceive you. This is a very important thing. Standing up straight with your shoulders back will automatically tell the other person that you're confident. And this is the simplest and easiest thing that you can do to boost your own confidence too. Standing up straight with your shoulders back. And what this also represents that you're willing to face life. By standing up straight, you're willing to face the challenges of the day and you're ready to go. So this is a very easy thing to do and it has huge impacts. My next advice is being humble. Now don't act like you're better than anybody else. Because you're not. You're not better than anybody else. And don't brag about how good you are because people don't care. They just don't care. And it's not that they just don't care. They will even dislike you if you're always bragging and making everything about yourself. People will hate you if you do that. No one likes those people. You probably know someone like this who's narcissistic, always talks about himself, belittles other people to show his superiority. Do you like to be around those people? Do you like to be around those narcissistic people? No, right? They literally drain your energy and they probably don't even like you that much. So don't make everything about yourself. You're not that great. Be humble. Don't always make everything about yourself. Don't always talk all the time. Hear the other person out too. You're not that great. Let me give you an example. Like, imagine telling someone the bad things that you've been going through and them answering back, that sounds bad, that it's nothing compared to what I've been through. No one cares. Who asked what you are going through? When someone tells you their problem, they don't tell them that their problem is nothing compared to yours and make them feel inferior just to boost your own sense of ego. You hear them out and you give them advice if they ask for advice. But you don't brag about, no, that's nothing compared to what I've been through. You don't do that. Now, let me ask you again something. Was there ever a time when your ego helped you out? By this, I mean, was there ever a time when being narcissistic, only talking about yourself, only caring about yourself, and bragging to other people bring you any good outcome? Never. There has been never a case where that has helped you. Never a case where it has helped me. No one. Being full of yourself and loving yourself too much never takes you to a good outcome. That's why being humble is important. Because to be honest, you're probably not that special. You're not that exceptional to belittle other people. Don't think that you're better than everyone else. You're not. That brings me to my another point, and that is don't think that you know everything. Admit your own ignorance. When talking to other people, don't act like you know everything that they are saying and your truth is the absolute truth. Because you don't know a lot of things. I don't know a lot of things. 10 years from now, I am going to look back to this moment and think how stupid I was. Because the more you know, the more you know that you don't know. Like, let me explain. Imagine knowledge is a circle, and the diameter, or whatever you call this, of the circle is the amount that you don't know. Like, look at what happens when you start knowing more. The circle gets bigger, but also the diameter of the circle also gets bigger. So the more you know, the more you don't know. So don't act like you know everything because you don't. No one knows everything. Don't hold on to your opinions so tightly that you cannot let them go. By this I mean question your opinions. When someone shows you that you're wrong, admit it. Admit that you were wrong. Don't try to defend yourself because now that you're been shown that you're wrong because of your insecurity, you feel hurt. So when you're wrong, admit it quickly and honestly. Have the courage to say, yes, you're right, I was wrong. Because that's how you're going to learn. If you think that you know everything, you can't learn anymore, you can't improve that way. So admit your ignorance. You don't know everything. And have the courage and admit it when you're wrong. Now, my next advice is never lose your temper. Now, this ties back to a lot of other things that we said, but does being angry solve anything? Does losing your temper do you any good? If you have an answer to that question, write it down because I just can't think of anything. I can't think of an answer to that question. Because losing your temper doesn't help any situation, it only makes them worse. This is probably also happened to you when you lose your temper and get angry, and moments later you're thinking, why did I do that? I really just lost my temper, that I lost all of control. Why? Why was I so stupid? And it always happens like this. After you lose your temper, you always regret it later. So this is why having the control over that is so important. Because if you lose your temper easily, that just tells me that you're a weak man. If you can't control whether or not to yell at someone or get angry at someone, you're just weak. It's that simple. You can't control your emotions. You're weak. Now, here's a quick tip: never command people, always ask them. Now, let me give you an example. Which sentence sounds better? Bring me a coffee, or could you bring me a coffee? Could you come here, or come here? Do this, or could you do this? Like, can you see the difference? Because people don't like to be bossed around. When you command people, when you tell them what to do, they feel like a slave. It makes them feel inferior to you. But when you ask people to do something, it gives them this sense that they have a choice. Where could you do something? They can choose there. But if you just command them, come do this, it feels like that they have no choice and they are just being dragged around by you. So this is a very simple thing that you can do. Just adding one word, could you? And it has profound effects. So this is just a quick tip that you can implement. Now, my next advice is give honest compliments and appreciations. Heck, you know how good a compliment feels, especially if you're a man, because a lot of men don't get compliments that often. If a man gets a compliment, he'll remember it for a month. So whenever you think about something good about the person who you're talking to, tell them. Tell them, because it doesn't really matter if you just think that they are a good person. It doesn't matter if you think that they have done a good job, because they can't read your mind. When someone has done a good job, tell them. When you like the clothes that they are wearing, tell them. When you like what they just said, tell them. Whatever. Any compliment. Like, this is a simple rule that you can follow, that any good positive thing that you think about them, don't keep it in your mind, tell them. Because it will make them feel really good. And it's also just good to spread love and just compliment others, because I don't think that there's a lot of that in today's world right now. And also, people will learn a lot better if you compliment them compared to when you punish them. Like, it has been shown in a lot of studies that by complimenting and appreciating other people, by telling people that I like how hard you work and that you have done a good job, and complimenting them is a way better motivator than punishment. So give honest appreciations, and I guarantee you that you'll receive even more back. My next advice is become a good listener and become interested in other people. Be actually interested to hear what others have to say, because I think that it's amazing that we get to hear other people's opinions about something, because otherwise the world will be so boring. Like, imagine if everyone said the same thing and everyone agreed to you. It would be so boring, wouldn't it? And also, you can learn something from everyone, because everyone is better at something than you are. And you can always learn that from someone else. Maybe from someone you can get to know a lot more about gardening, or from another person you can get to know a lot more about psychology. So be curious. Ask people about their opinions. Find out what it is that you can learn from them. Become actually interested in them and ask questions. And the other point, be a good listener. When they are talking, actually listen to them and pay attention, and don't just wait for your turn to speak. Be a good listener. Listen to what they have to say and then ask questions, interact with them. The asking questions is one of the biggest cheat codes, because the more questions you ask, the more interested you become in them, and the more that they will speak. And the more that they will speak, the more that they will become to like you. So by asking questions, you will get to them liking you more. And also, you don't have to do a lot of talking. Like, I had a conversation where I barely talked anything. I just listened and looked into their eyes and was very attentive. And after they have told me that, it's very nice to have a conversation with you, even though I barely said anything. So this is why being a good listener, becoming interested in other people is so important. When talking to someone, actually listen to them and be interested in them. Like, have this curiosity inside of you to know what other people think, and ask them about their opinions and how they view this thing, and get to know them better. My next advice is never say to someone that you're wrong, and respect other people's opinions. When you tell someone that you're wrong, it has this weird effect. It's like they instantly dislike you more, and they get a little angry and defensive, because people don't like to be told that they are wrong. And even if you're right, you cannot change someone just by telling them that you're wrong, because the only way that they can change is by them deciding to change, and them themselves realizing that they were wrong. So if you tell them that you're wrong and I am right, you won't do anything. You'll just make them angry. and you're making them feel more inferior. And here's the exact sentence that you can use when someone says something that you know that is wrong. And this is from the book The How to Win Friends and Influence People. I thought otherwise, but I may be wrong. I frequently am. And if I am wrong, I want to be put right. Let's examine the facts. So just say something like this. You can use exactly this one. Like, look, I am not perfect. I am often wrong. I think otherwise. Let's see. Let's examine the facts. Let's get to a common ground. But never say that you're wrong. That doesn't lead to anywhere good. Now, if you want to know more, definitely read this book because it is one of the best books that I have ever read, probably on social skills. There's a lot of valuable lessons in here, so I hope that this video was helpful for you. And I also just want to mention that I am doing free one-on-one calls with my viewers. So if you're interested, leave a comment and we'll contact each other. So I hope that this video was helpful for you and I could help you and maybe even help my younger self if he's watching. Someone like that, of course. And yeah, I hope that this video was helpful for you. It would mean a lot to me if you subscribed, commented, or liked, or whatever. Yeah, have a great day. I hope that this video was helpful. Goodbye.